Today I have some news that I think you guys who were disappointed about the lack of Mega Flygon appearing in Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire are actually going to be really interested in. Today, we received a little bit of insight as to why Mega Flygon was excluded from Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, and the potential of Mega Flygon actually appearing in future Pokemon games. We have actually been given a reason as to why Mega Flygon did not appear in Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire from Ken Sugimori himself. He's the designer of a lot of Pokemon in the Pokemon games. So I'm going to jump straight into this. 500 likes would be really appreciated for my next video to be uploaded as soon as possible. And my name is P1all. Let's jump straight into today's news. I very quickly want to cite my source for this one because I'd feel bad if I didn't actually refer to where I found out about this news. I originally found out about this news from Joe Merritt, the head of Cerebi.net, but the summary I'm going to be using in this video is from Pokebeach.com. They actually wrote up a pretty handy, summary of this news. So, Nintendo Dream, a Japanese magazine, obviously about Nintendo, recently conducted an interview with Game Freak's Ken Sugimori, Shigeru Omori, Shigeki Morimoto, and Kazumasa Iwara. Forgive me for the pronunciation of these names. In the interview, Ken Sugimori actually revealed the reason why Mega Flygon does not exist, either in Pokemon X and Pokemon Y, or in Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. You'll be able to see the interview in a scan on screen right now, but it's in Japanese. I don't expect the vast majority of my audience to be able to read it, so I'll explain what was said. Sugimori briefly explained that he needed a Pokemon that can use the moves Fly and Secret Power, which are perfect moves for secret bases, and the only key Hoenn Pokemon that fit that criteria was Flygon. This interview gets interesting when the interviewer asks, key characters often carry a Pokemon that can Mega Evolve, but Flygon is an exception, right? Ken Sugimori replied, Flygon has had the potential to have a Mega Evolution since Pokemon X and Pokemon Y, but we were unable to complete a design, and so it was dropped from consideration. What Ken Sugimori is saying right there is he essentially had artist's block, and that Game Freak did not want to rush a design for Mega Flygon. They wanted it to be perfect for the games, and because they couldn't create a design that they were actually happy with, eventually they decided to drop the idea of Mega Flygon appearing in both Pokemon X and Pokemon Y and Pokemon Omega Ruby and Pokemon Alpha Sapphire completely. I think a lot of us could easily act entitled right now and say, oh, Ken Sugimori, you've drew literally thousands of Pokemon designs. Why couldn't you just spend a little bit of time creating Mega Flygon? And you know what, I'm not going to act like that. I think this is actually really good reasoning. If they're not happy with the design, they're perfectly happy to wait until the next Pokemon games to come up with a perfect design, one that actually suits their image in their minds, I guess. I think the fact that they're even discussing this is the perfect reason to actually let them off with this one. They know what the customers want. They actually tried to appease us, but unfortunately, they just couldn't come up with a perfect design in their vision. And if they're going to value quality over actually just rushing it out and getting it out to us guys, I really respect that. And I think a lot of game developers could actually get on board with that idea. We see a lot of rushed games in today's climate. Games that have questionable design choices. And sure, it's disappointing that Mega Flygon hasn't appeared in the game that it probably would have been most suited to, but with this reasoning, the possibility of actually seeing Mega Flygon in the future is actually fairly high. It's on their to-do list. I'm really interested in what you think though. Do you want to see Mega Flygon in a future Pokemon game, despite it being synonymous with the region of Hoenn and probably being a perfect fit for Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire? Are you happy with this reasoning? Are you willing to give Game Freak time? I for one definitely am, and I do think you guys should be too. There's no point acting entitled, there's no point throwing rattles out of the cart, I guess. I think being patient will actually wield a really good reward in a really good Mega Flygon design. in a future Pokemon game. Hopefully in Pokemon 2015 I'm going to dub it Pokemon Z, Pokemon X2 and Y2, whatever the next games are going to be called. That's just my 2 cents. Let me know in the comments what you think of this little explanation we've been given. I for one think it's awesome that Game Freak have actually came out the woodwork and discussed why Mega Flygon isn't in Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. I hope they're more open with their customers in the future, because this creates a really good relationship between developer and customer. It's just something I'd like to see. 500 likes would be really appreciated, and I'll upload my next video as soon as humanly possible. And feel free to subscribe so you don't miss any more of my future Pokemon news videos. I'm sorry for the lack of news concerning the Shiny Arceus giveaway. I'll be live streaming on Twitch in the very near future. I did say last week, but honestly I've just been a little bit down, and that wouldn't create the best atmosphere for a live stream, I guess. I know it's really lame reasoning, I'm just sorry. Thank you very much for watching, I hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.